Hey everybody, and welcome to the weekly scopes from the 2nd of April right up until the 8th. So today, well not today, this week's a full moon week, so of course I'm going to dive deep. Also got Venus entering Taurus as well, which I'm going to talk about later, but I'm just going to take it from the top. So on the 2nd of April, the moon enters Leo at 19 minutes past midnight. So one of the main pros of the vibration of the moon entering Leo is a boost in self-confidence. Leo is ruled by the sun, which represents the ego and personal identity. And because of this, you may feel stronger in your sense of self and purpose and wanting to express yourself more authentically. This can, on the positive side, lead to success in personal and professional projects and just a general sense of, being satisfied in your daily life and relationships. But one of the biggest cons of Leo energy is the potential for egocentric behaviors and words. Although, self-confidence and love are important, but sometimes, Leo's energy can make us, be a bit narcissistic and arrogant, so just watch out for that. Some of you may find yourself, other people, be in the company of people that seek validation excessively right now, which can place a strain on even the most committed and greatest bonds, so just watch out for that. If you want to know more about the moon in Leo, check out the playlist. Also today at 6:24, the moon enters its gibbous moon phase. So this is a time of preparation and refinement, perfecting the details on any projects, our relationship and any other goals that we're working on. The energy of the gibbous moon is one of progress and growth, but it also requires us to focus carefully and pay attention on the things we need to do right now to reap the benefits of this energy. Of course, if you want to know more, check out the playlist and talk more about it there. On the 3rd of April, Mercury is making a square to Pluto, so this is a time where your intellectual, intuitive powers and understanding may be increased. Some of you may under this influence, especially if you've got strong Mercury and Pluto, 8th or 3rd house or 6th house placements, even 12th house placements or 1st house placements in your natal chart, may find yourself being able to influence others through being persuasive with your speech or any other form of communication like writing and videos and whatever. It's a time when we can use our intellectual or intuitive abilities to get ahead in our life, but it's essential to avoid expressing extremist or fanatical opinions that may turn people off, because Pluto's energy here can just make us a bit too intense, and Mercury obviously making a square, which is planet of communication, so this can happen. Some of you may also experience mental troubles, being confused on the worst end, just a general sense of feeling paranoid, so be careful with any substances you're taking today, because this can amplify this energy. Some people may be cunning, manipulative and just use deceitful behaviour to get what they want, so watch out for this. The best use of this energy is try and be as clear and concise in your communication as you can. If you don't understand what someone's saying, ask them to clarify rather than making assumptions, and do your best to just focus on whatever your goals are right now. Because of Pluto's influence here, some of you may delve deep into your psyche and any emotional and psychological repressed emotions that are there. So if you feel up for it, it's a good time to start or continue working through the emotional and psychological obstacles that hold you back from living your best life and reaching your personal success. So all forms of shadow work, inner work and self-reflection is the best use of this energy, and this can just lead to more growth and development in all areas of your life. So just watch out for malicious speech and using this energy, or people using this energy to manipulate you. So that's the 3rd of April. And the 4th of April, the moon enters void, of course, at 7:04 a.m. Check out the playlist if you want to know more about that. Also at 11:56 a.m, the moon enters Virgo. So Virgo energy, did I say Virgo? Virgo energy is characterized by focusing on being practical, organizing and paying attention to detail. So some of you may feel more responsible during this time and wanting to work hard and being more self-disciplined. So it's a good time to focus on any tasks that require precision and prioritize your health and wellness and other sort of personal hygiene and exercise or work routine, project routines and stuff like that. If you want to know more about the moon in Virgo, check out the playlist. Also today, Saturn is making a sextile with the moon's north node. So this is a good energy to, sort out any arguments in any relationships and also deepen your bonds and commitments as well. Some of you may find it easier to connect with people under this energy and build long-term trust-based relationships or bring trust into the relationships due to Saturn's influence here. Being patient and understanding, even if someone's being over emotional, or being open-minded if you feel on the surface that you've got nothing you can connect with this person with. Just asking questions can deepen emotional bonds and kind of solidify your commitments to others as well. Some of you may have to make sacrifices for your loved ones, because again Saturn's influence here and north node's to do with our purpose and our goals, so you may have to postpone your goals to take care of a family business or anything like that, and requiring you to be a bit patient and selfless. And although you may find this hard, but I'm sure those who you do take some time out for and put your goals on hold for will give you some appreciation for doing so. But just watch out for people manipulating you. Make sure it's a worthy cause and that they really need your help, and you're not sort of like taking care of things that they are able, obviously if they're ill or anything like that and can't do it themselves. But just make sure that you're not being manipulated by other people's demands right now as well. All in all, this transit offers us to continue on our personal growth and to focus on being more positive in how we view our personal and professional relationships. For some of you, it's good to work with others to solve any problems what come up today, and just invest your time and energy in bringing more meaning into your life and your connections. So yeah, that's the 4th of April. So on the 5th of April, the first transit is Mercury making a sextile to Saturn. So this is a good time for initiating study and research and things like that. Even the most tedious tasks right now may not seem so boring to some of you, so this is a good thing to help you do the things you've been putting off. Anything to do with maths, if you don't enjoy maths, that is sort of code or whatever it is that you've been putting off, organising your sock drawer, whatever. So yeah, some of you may experience enhanced concentration and be able to think more practically and take positive and practical action right now, which can lead to long-term rewards or just the feeling of you're getting stuff done in your life that you really want to get done. It's a great time for strategic planning, performing any task that requires determination as well. Also today, Mercury makes a conjunction to the moon's north node, so this allows us to create exciting or mentally or spiritually stimulating connections with others. Some of you may also think of a unique idea or solutions to any long-standing problems, or other people may give you solutions by having conversations and just connecting and just being intuitive with it, or intellectual or technological or scientific with it, whatever works for you. It's a great time for attending conferences, lectures or workshops that interest you, or going online and just searching out research, as I said earlier, that you need to do or you're intrigued by. All in all, the focus should be on getting new knowledge, making new connections, and all forms of, marketing, public relations work can do well. Just be a bit mindful about how you approach with your words and stuff. Don't suck up to other people too much, but also don't be rude or be too pushy as well. So all in all, this is the ideal energy, Mercury conjunct the moon's north node, to form new connections or just to collaborate with others or to push yourself forward because of the Mercury sextile Saturn energy as well, on any area of your life that you feel stuck right now. With a little bit of hard work and self-discipline, you can make great leaps forward right now. So yeah, that's the 5th of April. Okay, so on the 6th of April, we've got a full moon that starts at 5:35 a.m. Also today, Venus enters Taurus at 6:30, so it's a bit of a long day. So yeah, let's start with the full moon, hey. So yeah, the April pink full moon is also known as the egg moon or the sprouting grass moon, and this occurs when the moon's in its full phase and appears like a pinkish hue. It doesn't always, you may not be able to tell the pink hue, but the full moon, as we know, represents a time and like accumulation or release of energy, and signifies the end of one cycle. And for some of you, it can be the end of a project, relationship, or anything else that you've been working towards finishing. The full moon can illuminate the path to higher consciousness and powerful spiritual transformations. The April pink full moon is also the first full moon of spring, so this has an astrological meaning and a spiritual meaning as well. The pink moon is named after pink wildflowers that are called phlox, PHLOX. I may not be pronouncing that right, but that's the spelling. And so these pink wildflowers, anyway, typically bloom this time of year. The pink moon symbolises regeneration, renewal and growth, as it represents the start of spring and the new beginnings that come with it. Well, the first full moon, obviously, spring started last week when we had, almost 2 weeks ago now, when we had the spring equinox as well, and the super new moon. So the moon is known to bring about an abundant energy, which is perfect for planting seeds of positive changes in your life. Or if you have a farm or physical garden, it's good to, start, if you've got an allotment, which is a patch of land in England where we plant foods or fruits, seeds and vegetables, or even plants, whatever you plant there. So it's a good time to start planting seeds of new ideas as well, and letting go of old projects or continuing the work of doing so, because sometimes we can't just end things neatly. So yeah, also this pink moon is great for setting intentions and starting to manifest what you intend to do this year. Also, as normal, the full moon is a time of letting go of the old and welcoming the new, making it a perfect time to clear away clutter, get rid of things that are no longer serving you and start afresh, clearing out negative energy and emotions that may be holding you back. And this can be achieved through practices such as meditation, journaling and cleansing rituals, but more about all of that later. It's, as I said, to really look at the things that are really holding you back, like emotional, spiritual, psychological baggage or toxic relationships that are stunting, hindering, stopping your personal growth, and allowing for this fresh energy of the spring over the next 2.5 months that we've got left of it, to help you to move forward and feel more renewed and less stagnant. Also, this pink full moon has a significant astrological and spiritual meaning, as I said earlier, because it's associated with love, and not just romantic love, but, and more importantly, more self-love and genuine self-love, not buying things to make us feel better, but actually doing the hard work, the inner work, the shadow work that can actually help us grow. And yes, it's not perfect. That's what I was going to say. It's not perfect. It's not nice going into those depths, but, it is what is needed. So this moon is, also about fertility, giving birth to new ideas. For some of you, you may be planning a baby or having a baby around this time, allowing for growth in your personal and spiritual areas of your life. For some of you, it's a good time to end things. For some of you, it's a good time to start new projects or relationships. The pink moon is also associated with the heart chakra, which is connected to love, compassion and emotional healing. So this energy supports that sort of deep healing work, the starting or continuing of it, strengthening your relationship with yourself and just focusing on the things that you need to do to move forward of your life. So at the time of the full moon, these aspects are really significant. So the moon sextiquares, which is a sextiquadrant Venus. This can amplify our desires and passions. The moon also makes a quintil to Mars, so this helps us to tap into our creativity, passion and harmony, which brings a sense of drive and motivation. The moon also makes an opposition to Saturn, so this can bring challenges and obstacles that test our patience and resilience. The moon's quincunx to Pluto, which is another hard sort of like aspect like the sextiquadrant, can lead to conflicts and emotional turmoil, stirring up deep-seated emotions for some. But positively, this energy supports us releasing old wounds. On the other hand, the moon sextile square to Chiron allows us to work through the wounds that are brought up and even our deepest traumas right now, and also helping that healing and growth that the full moon calls us to do by letting go of the things that's stopping it. Also, the moon makes a trine to the North Node at this time, so works with the energy of allowing us to manifest our new dreams and make progress towards our goals, bringing a deeper sense of purpose for some of us and offering direction to our lives and supporting us in moving forward with clarity and confidence. The Sun also makes a square to Mars, and which can bring about conflicts and tensions. It's important to try to avoid impulsive actions and disagreements at the time of this pink moon. The Sun sextile to Uranus can lead to sudden changes and breakthroughs, allowing us to break free from old patterns and embrace new challenges. The Sun semi-square to Pluto can bring up feelings of power struggles and control issues, and this energy is best used to transform and release negativity from your life positively. So these aspects bring intense energies that require a balanced and a grounded approach to avoid conflicts and tensions. To harness this energy in a positive spirit and make the most of the April pink moon, it's good to focus on releasing old habits and patterns and setting new goals that can help you make the most of this April's full moon. Now I'm just going to talk about the aspects of the moon in more depth. Moon transits last anywhere from 1 to 4 hours, and the effect of us can be fairly short, whereas Sun aspects last for about 1 to 2 days. However, at the time of a new and full moon, the transiting aspects energies can last for up to a month. So the moon sextile square Venus is a challenging transit in astrology in a way that has the potential to create tension in relationships, and it's happening on the full pink moon. So this warns us that conflicts and disagreements with loved ones can come up while we're maybe deciding to distance ourselves or, let go of any toxic relationships or any other disagreement that comes up right now. However, on the positive, this aspect can help you to find balance and harmony by encouraging you to work through any challenges that come up right now, whether it be in your relationship with your others or relationship with yourself. The pink moon's energy can also amplify these transit effects, as the moon is associated with introspection and confronting obstacles to achieve emotional growth. So also we've got the moon making a quintile to Mars. So this supports us in starting those new projects, providing us with the necessary motivation and enthusiasm to get things done. However, if not kept in check because of Mars energy here and the moodiness of the moon in general, the impulsiveness associated with this transit can make us take careless actions or say careless words and make mistakes while stumbling trying to hold on to things or people that want to leave us or not being forgiven, trying to seek jealousy or revenge or trying to cross other people's boundaries and assert our own will without taking what they want into account. So to make the best of this energy, it's recommended to channel the creative energy this moon quintile Mars brings into art or music, physical activities like exercise, because sometimes Mars can give us that pent-up energy that we need to release. Also, this quintile of the moon and Mars helps us to release negative energy and focus on our self-improvement goals as well, increasing that power of the letting go that the moon wants us to do it when it's full. The moon opposite Saturn can bring feelings of loneliness or feeling inadequate, for some of you feeling inferior, especially if you've got strong Saturn energy in your chart. So we're talking 10th, 11th house, Capricorn aspects as well. Or if you've got this aspect in your natal chart as well. So moon opposed Saturn can bring our attention to the exact areas of our life where we feel emotionally, spiritually or physically blocked as well, where we resist in letting go of the things that no longer serve us. So this energy allows us to, go deep within ourselves and just spend some time in solitude, reflecting on what we really need to let go and why we don't let go. It's best to pay attention to what comes up in you right now, make a note of it, whether it it be writing it down or voice recording it or videoing it if you feel comfortable, and start or continue the work of releasing your limited beliefs or emotional baggage that hold you back. Also, the moon's quincunx to Pluto also amplifies the risks of power dynamics and control issues in our relationships, and some of you may feel like you're being dominated by others. But on the positive, again, this energy supports transformation and breaking free from old behavioural and thought and relationship patterns. The best use of this aspect in the full moon is that it helps us to go deep within ourselves and understand any issues we have with asserting our power and control or abusing our power, and thinking about the ways that we allow ourselves to be manipulated or we manipulate others and why we do these behaviours. And usually, all these fear-based behaviours normally come from, being defensive or feeling like you have no control, so you have to assert your control. So issues to do with bullying in your childhood may come up, or any form of bullying, or feeling like you'll forever be a victim and stuff. So some real deep and hard stuff can come up for some of you, but don't be scared of these feelings. And even if you feel like you've done wrongs, know it's never too late to change. None of us humans are perfect, and we've all done good and bad stuff in our life. The most important thing is that if you want to change your life, that you can, and just know that it don't come overnight, and there'll be many failures as you go back into your old patterns. But if you keep on persevering, using the energy of the moon opposition to Saturn, providing that discipline and patience and perseverance right now, you can make breakthroughs. Also today, Chiron makes a sextile to the moon, so this allows us to really go into the root of these and psychological, emotional and spiritual blocks, that's what I wanted to say, and any past wounds and traumatic experiences that we need to process so we can become more whole. Some of you may feel extremely sensitive to emotional pain right now and feel vulnerable, especially if someone triggers a wound right now, or someone confronts you, or if there's struggle in your relationships and you can't communicate with your partner or anyone you want to communicate with right now. So as I said, it can be hard, but this moon sextile Chiron placement allows us to embrace a greater sense of awareness, have more empathy and compassion towards ourselves and others, and to process these past hurts that we need to let go of to move forward. So yeah, the moon sextile to Chiron amplifies the emotional energy of the moon, which can lead to, increase emotional insight. Still, positively, this can help us build the deepest connection to our spiritual self. Plus, the moon trine the north node aspect allows for a boost of positive sort of like energy and allows us to align with our true goals and life purpose. If we wish to go that deep, it's always a choice. So under this influence, people can feel more confident, optimistic and motivated to pursue their goals regardless of the pain and suffering they may be going through, or whatever external or internal sort of like struggles they may be going to. The North Node represents our karmic path and our soul's purpose. So this alignment can, help us make the right choices so we can make progress to working towards our authentic higher calling. To make the most of this transit, it's important to reflect on your personal values and how they relate to your life's purpose, because sometimes we want to achieve some things in our life, but our daily habits, what we actually do, makes it so that we'll never get there. So it's important to realise the importance of daily habits and our thoughts that create our daily habits and addictions and anything else that distracts us that we do. So, this energy allows us, if we wanted, to set intentions and plan to align our actions and thoughts with our deepest aspirations. So all in all, these moon transits intensify the themes of rebirth, renewal and growth that are associated with the full pit moon, as well as an increased emotional and spiritual energy. The sun aspects of the full moon include the sun making a square to Mars. Again, this can add to the conflict and aggression that I mentioned earlier. but the best use, again, this energy supports us pushing forward and making great steps in getting motivated to achieve our goals. Again, reminding us to be careful of impulsive, harsh behaviour and words, and also brings the chance of clashes, fights with authority figures, or you may be the authority figure that gets so crazy with your power, and this can cause struggle in your work or your relationships, so just watch out for that. But on the positive, this Sun square Mars can be a great energy for us to just push on through, and it's best used to work towards our long-term goals. And also the Sun makes a sextile to Uranus, so again it supports us change and growth, but it can bring some sudden and unexpected events which increases the energy of the full pit moon that cause for us to break free from old patterns. So some of us may suddenly decide to walk out on a job or partner or something. It doesn't have to be that drastic, it can just be a thought. Some unexpected event may just snap you out of your toxic patterns and routines, and obviously, as with everything, we have to work to do it. This energy is not going to just like a magic wand change us over life, but if you're prepared to take those steps, it can get you out of your stagnancy and get you open to new ideas and approaches to life. So this energy of the Sun sextile to Uranus allows us to be open to be more creative, take more risks, try new things, which can be liberating and empowering as long as you're open-minded or flexible to change. On the other end, if you're scared of change, it may be uncomfortable for you right now. Also, the Sun makes a semi-square to Pluto, so again, it intensifies the battle between power and control. So try to understand other people's point of views with this energy, and this energy at its best allows us to stay grounded and focus on the deeper meanings of life and on the goals, the things that are really going to push us forward, rather than waste our energy in mindless arguments or trying to prove points and stuff like that us humans can fall into. So to harness the energies of this pink moon, it's recommended to perform spiritual rituals, meditation or visualization to set intentions for new beginnings, letting go of trying to prove yourself to others and working through any limiting beliefs or behaviours are stopping you from moving forward, and to embrace the unknown in general. At the time of the full moon, the Sun is making a semi-sextile to Pluto. So again, this supports and encourages focus and determination and resilience. And for some of you, this esoteric sort of meaning of the Sun semi-sextile Pluto is that it can involve powerful spiritual, intellectual changes for some of you. On the other hand, the Saturn is also making a semi-square to Chiron right now. So this aspect sort of like tests us, can bring tests how really do we want to change? How much do we want to heal? Some of us may get some obstacles over the next month that tests our real commitment to bringing, a sense of self-empowerment into our life and taking control and responsibility for our personal healing and growth, and also provides the necessary discipline and focus that's needed to overcome the obstacles as well. So all of these support the needs of the full moon, which is to let go of old patterns and anything that no longer serves you right now. Also, at the time of the full moon, I'm just going to talk now about the Sabian degrees. So the moon is in the 7th degree of Leo. So the symbol for this Sabian degree is constellations that shine brightly in the night sky. So the tagline symbolises the ability to grasp powerful and unchanging spiritual values that unites all people, and for us to embrace enduring truths, truths that are passed through from generation to generation. And the key theme of this degree, which is the 7th degree of Leo, reminds us about although fashions and trends may come and go, fundamental aspects of our human experience and spiritual nature remains the same, whether we're living in the 900s or 2023 as we are now. So yeah, the 7th degree of Leo is all about stability, even when there's constant change that happens in our lives and in nature's seasons, the only constant is transformation and change. So that's the stability, that change is going to happen. That's how we can open ourselves up to uncertainty, because, you know, most of us stay in our comfort zones because we are afraid of the unknown in the world and the unknown in ourselves. So yeah, change is the only constant, which is represented by the fixed constellations in the sky, which may move in line with the precession of the equinox but still maintain their essence, you know, that they're fixed stars, reminding us to embrace and honour the enduring values that shape our lives, while also being open to the new and accepting the unity of spiritual values that are unchanging and powerful. So yeah, we need our traditions, we need basic ethics and basic rules to sort of like live by, but within these foundations of our traditions that we have across our many cultures, religions or spiritual practice or intellectual, technological, scientific or philosophical sort of thoughts and belief systems, that there are changes that need to happen, and we should also be open to embracing the new while also accepting our past and what's been going on throughout the centuries and throughout the whole history of mankind itself. So yeah, this degree reminds us to accept the things that connect all of us through time, and, you know, we've all got blood going through our veins, and just the common things of human sort of like nature as well as universal truths. And by seeking out or living by these higher, deeper meanings, this can enrich our lives and we can feel more uplifted and whole, because right now in our, you know, in our world, we're very decisive, we're very, this is right, that's wrong, I'm right, and very, sometimes we can be closed-minded. But by embracing all the diversity in life and just respecting that not everybody's going to want to believe in the same things we do or live our lives the way we do, and that we shouldn't force ideas on other people, but we also shouldn't sort of like discriminate against others because of differences of beliefs or skin colour or anything like that. So this symbol reminds us and acts as a beacon of hope and inspiration for all of us who seek to understand the deeper mysteries of human emotion. Also today, the sun is in the 22nd degree of Aquarius, so the symbol for this is a rug placed on the floor for children to play on. So the key theme behind this Sabian symbol is a warmth of familiarity and understanding that comes to those who open up to a new ways of thinking and new possibilities in their life. One of the core ideas behind the Sabian symbol is that individuals who remain receptive to new prospects during their formative earlier years are likely to develop a sense of comfort and ease in their relationships throughout their life. And this can be attributed to the fact that they are more accustomed to adapting change, which allows them to build stronger bonds with others and stay true to their inner values and who they are as a person, showing us why it's so important to stay open-minded and receptive to new ideas and possibility, because this can lead to a better understanding of ourselves and others and the world at large. And if we become closed-minded, and let's face it, life makes it hard for us not to, you know, get hardened-hearted. We get hurt by people. And as I mentioned earlier, there's always chaos in our world, from the ongoing wars to social unrest and the other overwhelming demands of daily life. But still, when we become closed-minded, we become less receptive to new ideas, perspective and experiences. And a lot of our life problems, I'm not the only one that thinks this comes from because we don't try to understand each other. And yeah, we don't have enough time to sometimes take that time out of our own little bubbles and open ourselves up, but we should, because this is what prevents us from achieving our full potential as individuals and as human beings. And one common reason most people become closed-minded is to protect, ourselves from harm, which is a natural sort of instinctive kind of instinct for most of us. And we can become guarded or defensive when we feel threatened or vulnerable, and this can lead us to sort out new ideas or experience or people that challenge our existing beliefs or values, because we feel let down by the world and the people in it. It's true that some of them may have hurt us, but not the whole world hasn't hurt us personally. And typically it's those that we allow close to us that hurt us the most. And this can lead us to rejecting, society on a whole. And sometimes we can feel like other people owe us something, and the world can make it seem that way, but ultimately no one does owe us anything. And it's easy to fall into the trap of entitlement or assume that the people in our life owes us something. Astrology shows that, we're all in different life paths, and even if we leave astrology out of it and get into psychology, we've all got different desires, and some of us have the same desires, and it's these people that each person should seek out, because there's people out there that you have things in common with, but when we try and get things out of people that don't want to give us the things that we need or can't give us the things that we need, this can lead us to feeling like we're alone and no one will ever love us or accept us for who we are, and that's not the case. And then we can live like that, and then we can push any new experiences and people away, and this can lead us to live a life in regret. But once we get true to, what life is full of challenges and obstacles. It's not a bed of roses, no matter how television the movies may make it seem like it is. It's not, reality can be painful to face up to and to live through as well. But overcoming these sort of harsh truths is up to us, and we must be willing to put the hard work and effort necessary to achieve our goals and, our aspirations, whether it's pursuing our dream job, building a successful business, or finding meaningful relationships, or taking that college course, or learning that trade. We must be willing to work tirelessly and make sacrifices to achieve our desired outcomes and get over our heartbreaks, which I know isn't easy to do. But sometimes we can get hurt in our 20s, and then we spend the rest of our 30, 40, 50 years just in misery because people that could never give us the things that we wanted anyway. And this shuts us off from the people out there who actually are naturally able to give us things. I'm very big on that. There's someone for everyone. So to be able to be open to this everlasting good, we have to take responsibility for our own lives and well-being, and realise that the world doesn't owe us anything. And this is not anything to get quite upset about, even though, as the saying goes, the truth will pee us off, but in the end it will set us free. So this symbol reminds us that people are never left without assistance when they seek to grow emotionally, spiritually and psychologically. Because even if you don't believe in all the woo-woo stuff, as I said, on the physical, material, logical level, I believe there's someone out there for everyone, and we cut ourselves off from these because of as I said, people who could never. And sometimes these people are our family and friends, it's our parents. And what I've learned about life is that sometimes just people just haven't got it in them to give us the things that we want. And we can just moan and allow them to ruin our whole lives, or we can take back control and go looking for our happiness. If you want happiness, often you have to go looking for it. But here comes my famous line, if you listen to my videos, watch out for those red flags, because there are some creepy people out there. With all that saying said, you have to be realistic, but they are still good people, so never give up hope in that. So although you may not see or believe in any spiritual kind of forces, there are forces out there that can help us to deal with the harshness of human life, or just looking at it on the normal level. As I said, there's people out there who can give us what we want. So this symbol reminds us to have a childlike openness for life, no matter how hard it can be, and to be grateful for life's humble gifts and modest pleasures. We can move forward on a path to inner growth and fulfillment, for it is in cherishing these simple joys and seizing every chance that to nurture ourselves and to bloom into the fullest versions of ourselves that we can bring with wisdom, kindness and happiness. And as again, I'm not selling you a dream, there's still going to be depressing and anxious moments and crippling self-doubt and fears and all of that, but if you just keep on moving through, what's happiness to you can be found. Starting to believe that each moment gives us a chance to start again and embrace the abundance of life, and open our hearts and be grateful, and to allow ourselves to change, to heal, to get through our psychological, emotional, spiritual suffering, and to flourish in the warm embrace of our own self-love, forgiveness, nurturing, understanding, healing and management, so we can evolve on the individual level, and knowing that people are out there that can support us and love us for who we actually are and not who we have to pretend to be. So this full moon is a time of focusing on personal growth, transformation and self-discovery. Spending time in nature and engaging in self-care practices can align your energy with the natural cycles of the April pink full moon and help you to tap into your inner wisdom and intuition for guidance, or your intellect, because not everybody thinks intuitively, and that's okay. You know, we're all here to learn and do different things, you know. So embracing yourself and the ways that you like to do things, but some rituals that you may want to try on a pink full moon to help you clear out your past energies, or just to set intentions for new growth and development, or to let go, you know, as I said, as things that anything else that no longer serves you. You can do things to help you feel more focused and centered, and, you know, let the energies of the transiting aspects that I mentioned earlier to help move you in the right direction and make the most of the April pink full moon. So meditation, breath work, meditation, mindfulness or yoga, tai chi, gentle dance, weights for some of you, jumping on a trampoline, going for a walk, lighting candles or incense can create a peaceful and sacred atmosphere for reflection and release. Some of you will be listening to heavy music or drum and bass or whatever it is that gets you in that zone. You know, it's about you finding what works for you, and as long as it's helping you really find the inner peace and not doing any harm to you or anyone else, then go for it. Journaling can help you clarify your intentions and connect with your inner wisdom, so you may want to start that practice if you don't do it, or continue in it. Additionally, practicing gratitude through affirmations or simply acknowledging the abundance in your life can raise your vibration and frequency to attract more positivity. Performing any rituals that promote self-care and improvement is also good for the April pink full moon. By incorporating any of these rituals, you can deepen your connection to your inner self and open yourself up to spiritual, intellectual, any other growth that you're focusing on right now, and self-awareness. So anything that allows you to focus on the positive or be realistic and not dwell on just the negativity and pessimism of yourself and the world, allowing yourself to cultivate self-love and release negative thought and behaviour and patterns and toxic relationships and anything else that's holding you back. So yeah, taking time to connect with yourself and your deepest inner truth can lead to powerful transformative experiences right now. So all in all, the pink full moon is a time for fresh starts, growth and transformation. It offers you the chance to reflect on anything that's holding you back and guide you towards a deeper understanding of your true self. So embrace this opportunity and have faith in the universe plans for you. With this vibrant energy, this moon is a powerful force that can help you manifest your desires and lead you to a brighter future. So yeah, that's the analysis for the April full moon. So also today, Venus enters Taurus at 6:30 a.m. So when Venus enters Taurus, the planet of values, desires and pleasures, love, beauty and harmony moves through the zodiac sign of Taurus, which is associated with pleasure, sensuality, money and material comfort. This transit lasts for several weeks and can bring about an increased awareness of the importance of finding balance and harmony in our lives. Venus is comfortable in Taurus's earthy, sensual energy, bringing us a chance to have more beauty and be open to more pleasure. So for some of you, this can manifest as an increased desire for material comforts and luxury items and fine dining experiences. For others of you, this transit can bring a sense of stability and security to your relationships and make you more sensual and more into music and art and stuff like that. The Venus in Taurus transit provides us with opportunities for personal growth and development in our health, career, education and spirituality if we want to take it. As a holistic astrologer, I believe that, free will is the ultimate power in the universe. Still, by tapping into these energies or believing in them and working with them can help us to grow on all levels and help us heal our wounds. Some of us, we do it through intellectual reasoning, and some of us, we do it through spiritual and astrological, sort of intuitive, sort of deeper reasoning. And it's okay, as long as whatever methods you choose to to heal and grow. As long as you are working on your own self-improvement, that's what it's all about ultimately. So yeah, short version is transiting Venus in Taurus brings us focus on stability and security in our relationships, making it an excellent time to prioritise committed partnerships. For those seeking love or looking to strengthen existing relationships, the transit brings a time of heightened romance and emotional connection. If you are in a committed relationship, this is the ideal time to deepen your connection and focus on cultivating a stable, secure relationship. If you are single, Taurus may bring a desire to find stable and committed relationships rather than short-term pleasure. Be careful not to become too possessive or materialistic in your pursuit of love. This transit can inspire us to focus on building long-lasting relationships and finding true love and a desire for real intimacy. Health-wise, this transit can encourage you to focus on your physical well-being by adopting healthy habits such as regular exercise and a balanced diet. People can be more cautious about their diet, especially their sugar consumption, as Venus in Taurus can increase the urge for sugary, treats, so watch out for that. As for career and educational development, this transit can inspire you to focus on building a solid foundation for your financial security, investing in long-term goals and developing or strengthening a strong network of professional contacts. In terms of educational development, this transit may bring about your attention to practical learning and learning more hands-on tangible skills, working with your hands, working with your mind. So yeah, it's a good time all in all for hands-on or experimental learning and focusing on financial education or strengthening your knowledge and investments and stuff like that. Also, all in all, this transit highlights the importance of acquiring new skills and knowledge that will serve you well in the future. Spiritually, this transit can remind us to stay grounded and connected to the earth, finding joy and peace in the natural world around us. Although for some of you, the focus on the material world and the pleasures it can bring can be challenging for your sort of spiritual or career growth as well. So it's important to try and remain grounded and balanced during this time, finding ways to integrate pleasure and spirituality in a harmonious way. From a karmic perspective, Venus in Taurus may represent a time to explore loyalty, trust and commitment issues in your relationships, and can reveal where we need to work out our karmic lessons around these themes. So all in all, Venus in Taurus is a time to learn how to appreciate the value of material possessions and relationships and use them as a source of inspiration and inner peace rather for personal gain. So finding the right use of material possessions. So overall, this transit is an excellent time to focus on personal development, spiritual growth and career advancement by making us focus on the value of persistence, patience and hard work. So now I'm just going to talk a bit more in depth about what Venus in Taurus means. So those looking for love may be drawn to people who are more stable and can provide security rather than who just makes us feel excited or are impulsive. You want a more stable sort of lover. So people may want more physical affection as well in their relationships because Venus is associated with love, beauty, pleasure and harmony. So when it transits in Taurus, one of the signs it rules over, it can want us to seek these qualities in a grounded and practical way. Taurus is an earth sign that exudes stability and security. This is why we may want to get this right now. So this transit lasts for about 25 days, so it's an excellent time to take slow and steady steps over the next 3 to 4 weeks and focus on building or rebuilding your long-term relationships based on a mutual trust, intimacy and shared values. In terms of hookups, transiting Venus in Taurus can impact our romantic and physical desires. So for some, especially with those with strong 2nd, 7th, Venus, Libra, Taurus energy in their charts, you can go through some changes in your love life. So, it can be a great time if you are single to meet new people and start meaningful connections, focusing on building intimate relationships with others or exploring your sexual desires. However, it's important to maintain boundaries and respect for yourself and any partners during this time. Taurus in Venus may offer a slower pace to our hookups, and we may want more sensual hookup experiences during this time. It's because Taurus's energy is all about enjoying the moment, especially in lovemaking and stuff like that, or just raw animal lovemaking, taking things at a more leisurely pace. So some of you can expect to take time to connect with someone new, or to deepen and zest in sort of like hook up and savour every sensation that may come along the way, and you're kissing, touching and all of that. If you are looking to hook up with someone new, it is good to remember that you should take things slowly to enjoy the experience, or if you want to do that, this is an opportunity that can allow you to do that. So all in all, in terms of hook up, it's a time of high indulgence. Things may be more focused on sensual pleasures rather than, base, quick, over in 2 seconds sort of passions, or 2 minutes, whatever. And allowing you to take time to appreciate whatever it is that comes your way right now. In terms of physical sort of and health, the transit of Venus in Taurus is a good time for physical health. It can encourage us to be more indulgent in eating healthy foods, and taking up or being more committed to our exercise routines that focus on building strength, endurance and flexibility. Additionally, indulging in self-care activities like hiking, walking, yoga and meditation can positively impact your emotional well-being and support your overall psychological and physical health right now. This transit can be viewed as a time to prioritise self-care and focus on developing a healthy and balanced relationship with yourself, and what you eat, what you drink, what you do with your body right now. Taking care of any health concerns in the right ways that may come up during this transit. Health-wise, Taurus rules over our neck, throat and ears, so we should take care of these areas and just watch for any complications with these areas over this transit as well. So, giving ourselves a gentle, nice neck massage, or going for one, looking after our throat, and maybe, people may find themselves feeling more sensually activated by touch of their ears and stuff like that as well. In terms of career, the transit of Venus in Taurus can help us make significant progress in our work. Venus in Taurus is a time to be patient and work hard towards your professional goals. This is a time to focus on, building stable and reliable foundations at your work, so repairing any relationships with co-workers that may be a bit conflicty or tension filled right now. Talking with your boss, going for that promotion, or making plans to upgrade your skills so you can get that promotion, or just making, slow and steady progress to any unfinished things that you may have on your desk or on your emails. It's a good time to, if you've got an inbox that's cluttered, it's a good time to take time to slowly clear your inbox, and anything that requires you to take slow daily action to clear a backlog or anything like that is also good as well. Overall, looking at how the other areas of your life, like mismanagement of your healthcare, of your hookups or anything like that, affect your career, and taking those steps to readdress that and find more balance between your work and home life as well. In terms of material possessions and comfort, when Venus, as I said, is transiting through Taurus, you may be more attached to your possessions or making money or the things that bring you comfort, which can be a positive and negative sort of like thing depending on how you approach it. So on one hand, this transit can bring about an appreciation of nature, art and sensual pleasures. On the other hand, this transit can lead to excessive indulgence and attachment to worldly possessions, leading to greed and materialism, just overspending or thieving for some of you, just so you can fund this luxury lifestyle that you may want to be having right now. So it's helpful to be mindful of your relationship with material possessions and money during this time, so you can find the balance that's needed to balance your need for material security with ethics, because as we navigate our daily lives, we can find ourselves surrounded by countless material possessions that often we do use to define our worth and our sense of success. And it's easy to get caught up in, consumer culture and buying and equating what we own and the brands that we wear and use as being our happiness, and as I said earlier, how successful we are. But taking this approach can lead us down a path of endless consumption with little regard for our choices, the environment and other ethical implications. So this is not to, say don't do things and use things that bring you comfort, but ask yourself, are these things really giving me comfort, or are they keeping me away from, my sense of inner peace? So Venus in Taurus invites us to find a balance between materiality and our spirituality. So on one hand, it's good to indulge in the finer things in life, such as luxury, fabrics and gourmet food and beautiful art and music and going out, the fancy watches and cars and designer brands, as I said, as we may feel a strong desire to surround ourselves with these comfort items. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but it's also about balancing that with ethics and not getting too caught up in material possessions and thinking that true happiness comes from these possessions, because it don't. It comes from within and our inner values and being true to ourselves rather than what other people say that we should own, what we should consume or wear to be worthy. So some of us doing this may feel a stronger connection to the earth and wanting to spend more time in solitude, working with plants in the garden, just taking a more down-to-earth approach to life. If you normally eat at £100 per course restaurant, you may find yourself going to one where you can get all courses for £10, something like that. You may just feel more practical and wanting to make some serious changes in the way you consume things and people and services. So Venus in Taurus, all in all, is all about sustainable growth and consumption and long-term gains rather than the quick wins of instant gratification that over consumerism can bring to us. So as I said earlier, it's a time for practical hands-on learning or relearning, great for kind of technical training and research as well. If you're interested in learning a new skill or learning a new trade, some of you may quit your job and decide to do your passion project and turn that into a self-employed career and stuff. But make sure, you do make those slow and steady plans. It may not be feasible for some of you to quit your job right now. So making a plan on how you can do that and maybe doing it as a side hustle first may be the best for some of you, and while others of you actually focusing on your passion project and going for what you really want is the best option. So, look at your own personal capabilities when kind of like assessing which path you're going to be taking right now. So all in all, this energy supports all terms of hands-on learning and research and can be really good for our personal and professional growth. On the spiritual level, we may find ourselves going beyond love and career and wanting to find more real peace and contentment, and as I said earlier, the simple pleasures in life and just our normal everyday routines may bring this to us. Others of you again may just focus on and appreciate nature more and connecting with your innate spirituality by working with plants or using raw ingredients in your food. For some of you, don't need to be that deep. Looking at the sky or watching online videos of nature will open some of you up to being appreciating the simple things in life. Or so some of you may go deeper and spend time meditating in natural surroundings and environments, or starting or joining groups that are focused on preserving the environment. So Venus in Taurus allows for a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you, helping you to explore the inner landscape of your emotions and desires and cultivate a more meaningful relationship with yourself, others and the things you earn, and with your material wealth and money and how you view it. So all in all, this transit is an excellent opportunity for spiritual growth. and because it allows you to immerse yourself in the energy of Venus in Taurus, which can bring about an increased self-awareness and connection and a sense of inner fulfillment with your inner values and getting to know yourself on that deeper level. So the best use of this energy for spiritual development is focusing on cultivating a sense of roundedness by refining your inner values and connecting with your spiritual side, while pursuing your goals and, material desires without losing sight of the importance of finding joy in the present moment and within yourself. So on the karmic level, Venus in Taurus, again, wants us to work on our self-love and self-worth, cultivating healthy habits and building lasting relationships based on mutual respect and appreciation. So for some of you, as I said, will focus on finding a balance between material pleasures and your emotional fulfillment in your relationship. Also, for some of you, you may realise your choices during this transit will have long-term consequences, especially if you do overindulge and spend more money than what you actually have. You may, get instant karma and that. So it's be mindful of your actions and the decisions that you make right now, so you can build positive karma for your future rather than have this energy make you overindulge in sets and spending and just being, kind of egotistical and selfish and being over sensual. So all in all, during this transit, people may find themselves more drawn towards creating lasting partnerships and seeking comfort in their physical surroundings. While this transit may lead us to indulge in material pleasures, it also offers us the opportunity for self-improvement and spiritual growth. It is important to be mindful of the potential pitfalls of this transit, such as becoming too possessive or stubborn in your relationships, or overly focused on material wealth and gain, or looking down on others because they don't have things, or trying to show to others through the things that you wear or do at this time that you are worthy. Real people who want to be in your life will love you for who you are, not for who you have. So keeping a balanced perspective on using the energy of Venus in Taurus for personal, spiritual and professional development can result in you making positive and lasting changes in your life. So that's Venus transiting in Taurus. So also today on the 6th of April, the moon enters void of course. That starts at 1:43 a.m. and then the moon enters Libra at 8:41 p.m. So the full moon actually occurs when the moon's in Virgo, and then it ends the day in Libra. So this Libra is associated with balance and harmony. So again, it supports, creating more balance in your relationships and finding peaceful solutions to your conflicts. So supporting that Venus in Taurus energy and the full moon energy as well. If you want to know more about what the moon in Libra means, then check out the playlist. On the 7th of April, the moon void of course starts again at 7:43 p.m. and then there's a set star between Mercury and Mars, so this can help us stay focused on completing our projects and anything else that we need to finish, pushing on through any obstacles that may come our way and taking decisive action. This transit sharpens our intellectual abilities, making some of us more articulate and with a readiness to provide answers when challenged and the ability to convince others of our ideas effectively. So watch out for that, because some people may manipulate you, and watch out for lying to get what you want as well, because or every reaction has a consequence and all that. All in all, this energy is excellent to use to complete tasks, taking on new projects, and also being intellectual, flexible to doing world or any other puzzles to keep your mind stimulated. But watch out for conflicts with authority or abusing your power, or other people abusing their power as well. The Sun makes a semi-square to Saturn, so on the downside, power struggles may lead to destructive arguments that can cause separations. Individuals may experience delays, frustrations and difficulties with accessing important people or channels, organisations. So it may be delay in paperwork or getting any important contracts through and stuff like that. Reaching your goals may require more patience and perseverance today. While you navigate the proper channels, it's best to not take shortcuts, because this can backfire and you may think that you're saving time, but in the end it ends up costing you more time. So watch out for that. The best use of these transits is to harness the energy generated by the sextile between Mercury and Mars to accomplish tasks with clarity and decisiveness while maintaining the level of resilience and persistence that's required by the semi-square between the Sun and Saturn. Individuals can overcome obstacles by focusing on their goals and using their analytical and communication skills right now. On the 8th of April, the moon enters via combustion. So when the moon enters via combustion, it's between the 15th degree of Libra and the 15th degrees of Scorpio. So this lasts for a couple of days. It can be a challenging and unstable period. If you want to know more about, what happens when the moon enters via combustion, check out the playlist. So yeah, that's the weekly scopes from the 2nd of April right up until the 8th of April.